Well, he let Franklin get away with it in that over, but he hasn't got away with it himself, because Harold Bird again has chipped him about getting too close to the line of the leg stump. Three slips and a short leg plus a gully. Just a single to get John Wright in New Zealand off the mark. Well, I'm not at all certain what happened. I know what happened to Franklin. I know it happened to Small, but what happened to Jack Russell?
A tremendous amount of movement there. I know it's a little bit wide, but really went and kept on going. That's the first delivery that's really gone like that. And I think Jack Russell didn't seem to pick it up too well. His hands were in the wrong position.
And the introduction of spin with Nottinghamshire's own Eddie Hemmings being given a warm round of applause as it's announced that he's coming on to bowl. That's 4 runs. First boundary of the day. The end of the over takes New Zealand on to 16. It's quite close, that one. Closest England have been.
Yes, useful delivery this from Gladstone Small, but going by well outside the off stump.
And there, sadly, is the first evidence of the promised rain. No great amounts forecast, but spasmodic showers, and there is some rain in the air. Hemmings now bowling to Trevor Franklin. And that's it for the moment. The players being taken off by umpire Bird.
Yes, I don't think it's really going to be very much. Looking over to our left, the right on your screen now, it doesn't look too bad. It's just a short, sharp shower, I would imagine.
We make it that 18 minutes have been lost, but Hemmings it is to start, and Trevor Franklin to take strike. A little bit of turn. Claimed and gone. John Wright doesn't wait for any decision. First ball from Gladstone Small after the restart, moving it back onto right, bat pad. Stewart picked it up. And first strike for England, New Zealand 16 for 1.
Well, he played that quite poorly, did John Wright. Really, it was a sort of leg stump ball, just outside leg stump. And he really poked at it. He'd no need to push it to short leg. It's down outside leg stump. He could have pushed it anywhere. And he just poked it straight at square leg. And he's a good fielder there, he's Alex Stewart. He's very quick, good hands. I think he'll be very, very disappointed with that. He knows that he could have and should have played that much better.
Small now to Jones. Well, that's 4 runs. Fine shot. A little bit of width.
Short, outside the off stump. He leaps at it, doesn't he? And unfortunately, it looks as though a few umbrellas are going up.
That's where the rain comes from. Just going to catch the end of the edge of that shower. Firebird doesn't miss a drop of rain. Zephyr of wind. Sure enough, he read it right, and off they go. So the third interruption, New Zealand having escaped any further troubles, go off at 22 for 1.
And the spectators at the ground disappointed that there's been no play for quite some time. I can assure you that is matched and more by the players, because there is no more desolate place on a test match day than a dressing room when it's raining. Didn't quite get that off the middle, but they'll get an easy 3 for it. And that shows the lack of bounce in this pitch. That was as quick as De Freitas can bowl, and it moved nicely. It's 29 for 1, 10 to each of the batsmen.
Well, it's a great line again, just outside off stump, makes him play at it, because there's no bounce in the pitch, he doesn't carry it to the keeper.
There's one chase for him. He should win with the outfield slow. 3 runs. Nobody need move for that except to go and fetch it. Third boundary of the innings.
Yes, well, I'm sure both the batsmen will be quite happy for the faster type of attack to come on, and it's easier to play shots off on this particular wicket. If you bang the ball in short, there's not really enough pace in this wicket, and it gives the batsman plenty of time to get and play back foot shots. Well, Devon Malcolm got to keep that ball up on a length, round about off stump.
Maybe another 2 or 3, Fairbrother after it. Bring up the 50. Absolute beauty, and De Freitas can't believe that that ball did so much without a deflection. Well, where is the justice?
Yes, again, it was on that line you had to play. It was round about off stump, just outside, but the ball is going so much after it passes the batsman that it looks like it. You almost get a touch, but it actually didn't. There was daylight between the edge of the bat and the ball, but you saw that ball moved after it got past the bat.
Fielder was just a little unlucky there. Slipped the sodden ground just off the pitch square. Probably a little bit of bat on that as well. Indeed. And that'll be quite welcome for Andrew Jones. Not so for Philip De Freitas, who hasn't had all the luck that's been going out there today. 75 for 1 now, 33 to Franklin, 32 to Jones. Malcolm to Franklin. Beautifully bowled. And deserved reward for the England bowlers. De Freitas will look at that with half a raised eyebrow, because he's the one who kept going past the outside edge. But it's Malcolm who brings the players into tea by taking the wicket of Trevor Franklin.
Yes, good piece of bowling by Devon Malcolm. But Trevor Franklin will be very disappointed. Got all the way to tea time and just leaving that little gap. And the ball squeezing through. I think he got a lot of bit of pad, bit of bat, a bit of everything on that delivery.
Well, Trevor Franklin will be most disappointed about that. He's done all the hard work to Martin Crowe.
Didn't take long for Martin Crowe to get into his stride. Fairbrother chasing. Didn't look as though that ball had been hit very hard, but 4 runs. You won't get a better start than that, Geoffrey.
Well, it's quite surprising that the first ball he receives, it's a little bit wide, but he's going after it because it's quite full, actually. It's up there, it's wide and swinging away. It could 2 foot wide when he actually hit it, but he got the full face of the bat and it flowing into the shot. No problems for 4 runs, but a bit surprising to see him attacking the first ball when it's so wide of the stumps.
Away again. Didn't quite get hold of that one. Fairbrother will win this chase, but still 3 and another expensive over coming. Well, that could have been disaster.
Well, there are plenty of ways to get out, but certainly this is not one of them. If that had hit the thigh pad and dropped down on the wickets, oh my goodness, it would have been a terrible shame. But it's happened to me once in a test match against Australia, and there are lots of ways to get out that you're not told about in the textbook.
Short and got the treatment.
And this pitch has no pace in it. If you get it sort of a half a yard short as a spinner, you can get pulled away quite easily. Martin Crowe's just come in, he's had no problem there, plenty of time just lifting it away.
He's in prime form. 3rd boundary. Only faced 8 deliveries, and 3 of them have found the fence. Well, and Martin Crowe's enjoying himself. That's 6. Effortless.
Well, he just flipped this away, did Martin Crowe. Little leg and middle off break. Just flipped it away. He must have hit it very well. I don't think he was intending to hit it for 6. He was obviously aiming to hit it over the infield. A couple of bounces into the boundary fence, but he caught it so well it went right over the boundary.
That's a very impressive test record. Averaging virtually 46. World rating in the top 10. It's a good bouncer and also well played.
Yes, it is well played. Another short ball from Devon Malcolm. Watch the batsman come inside, look at it, and then just take the eyes off it at the last minute as it goes in front of his face.
Interesting field with Gooch standing at shortish mid-on there for the half drive. Stewart there for the short leg catch, and that ball disappearing over his head, and that's Jones deciding to chance his luck. Leg side delivery from Hemmings, and he can't afford that with nobody out. End of the over. New Zealand 107 for 2.
Well, I don't think bowling Eddie Hemmings is doing anything for England. I really don't. I think he's just bowling kind of tight, negative, or trying to. Got 5 balls fairly tight until he got one down the leg side and allowed the batsman a free hit. The wicketkeeper going down the leg side gives you a good idea of where the ball is going, or at least where the wicketkeeper thinks it's going, and he should know. He's right behind the stumps. I really would like to see Philip de Freitas bowl in tandem to Devon Malcolm. And I also feel that Devon Malcolm would be better if we gave him a mid-off, told him to pitch the ball up, try and drag the batsman forward.
Well, he got him forward, but that's the result. Exactly what Jeff Boycott is saying, that You want your bowler on this pitch to pitch the ball up, but if you don't give him a mid-off, then really it's runs to a batsman of the calibre of Martin Crowe every time. Oh, caught him. Great catch. And that's the sort of jumping back square cuts which Jones likes to go for. And this time it's cost him his wicket. Malcolm takes his second wicket. New Zealand now 110 for 3 with Jones out for 39.
Well, that's a bit of a lucky wicket for England. Short ball, wide of the off stump, wanted hitting. And Jones tried to hit it. Could have hit it anywhere on the offside square of the wicket. Didn't hit it high enough over cover. It's wide, it's short, it's knocked in. Could have hit that anywhere. But he's not got it high enough. And a good acrobatic catch by Stewart.
Now Graham Gooch bringing in a fourth slip for the left-handed great batch. And 2 short legs. One in front, one of the old-fashioned positions at 45 degrees behind. Oh, what a good delivery. That's one really to welcome him, and there's a bit of pace there.
Backward short leg now goes in. 2 short legs then. Well fielded. Atherton, the fielder at mid-wicket, but they take a single. And so Mark, great batch. He's on the mark. Now let's take a look at the field for the left-handed batsman. We've got a slip, a silly mid-off or a short cover, and a short square leg. Those are the close fielders. A split field, 4 on the onside, 5 on the off. World rating 8. Smack up there, really, as I say, truly in form. Now that's a good run, off the mark, nice little push, and great batch. Could obviously feel how much weight he put into it. He knew exactly how far it would run. You suddenly push and you're dialing off the mark. Might even have a twinge of the hamstring there.
Yes, I think he must have just heard you there, Tony. He's flexing that left leg. He had to go a little bit at the finish, and in fact would have been out if the ball had hit. I thought it looked tight at the time, but in fact he would have been out if Eddie Hemmings hit the stumps. One more run to Martin Crowe. Gladstone Small now. It's about to bowl, setting a field there with Graham Gooch. Good figures actually so far for Gladstone Small. 15 overs, 7 maidens, 1 for 17. And the applause as Devon Malcolm now comes down just below us, below our commentary box, puts on his sweater and cap, and he'll be feeling good. A couple of wickets in the bag for him. Oh, Hemmings it was who was backing up, and actually Stewart himself who threw the ball at cover as the man who chases Stu to catch it again. Well, these two are putting a bit of pressure on each other with the running between the wickets. Great batch could have been run out if Eddie Hemmings had it. And that was very tight as well. Very, very tight. He may have just got the benefit of the decision from umpire John Hampshire, but it was very tight.
Hemmings to great batch.
Bowls him, beautifully bowled, quicker, went to the arm maybe.
And so the man who's been a thorn in England's side in one-day cricket goes for 1. It's 121 for 4.
I suppose the law of averages has got to fail sometime. He's been in marvellous nick all summer, and particularly in those 2 one-day internationals. So that's a great wicket now for England, and it really puts pressure back onto that New Zealand side. 121 for 4.
And this brings to the crease a man in his first Test match, Mark Priest, left arm spinner, 28 years old. Well, that'll be a relief for Mark Priest. He's off the mark.
59 balls he's faced so far to make 40. Make that 44.
Loose delivery from Eddie Hemmings, full toss, but Crowe in beautiful control, picking his spot.
Fielded. Oh, well backed up. Two of the younger players on the side there. Fairbrother pulled off the great piece of fielding, and then Atherton backed up.
Terrific drive by Priest. Great fielding by Fairbrother. And he sees he's got a chance. He's quickly on his feet, throws at the wicket. And Atherton backs up well.
Single to Martin Crowe, half century to him, and it's been a lovely innings.
Well, from the moment he's walked into bat, he's looked completely at home. He's made the wicket look the flattest thing in the world. Played absolutely beautifully. And really speaking, he's been absolutely outstanding today. That single bringing up the 150.
Graham Gooch, the man who's shuffled the bowlers around out there and kept up attacking fields for much of the time. 161 for 4 he has New Zealand. 1 point England must have hoped they'd be able to get through and pick up a couple more this evening. Been several interruptions for rain. That's a nice shot from Mark Priest. Outfield will be slowed by that recent rain. Hemmings the fielder. That's another good shot from Priest. And well run. Quick 3 there for Mark Priest. Freitas now from the Radcliffe Road end with just 8 minutes to go. And played on. The breakthrough they wanted. Now that was unlucky for the batsman, but Philip de Freitas deserves some good fortune. He bowled so well early on without getting any result for his labours, and now he's got the inside edge back onto the stumps.
Well, this is just the one thing that New Zealand didn't want to happen. Martin Crowe in tremendous form, played beautifully, hardly made a mistake at all, and they're just getting inside edge. Maybe even touched the foot as well as going back onto the wicket. Because of the angle of bat, you can see again here, that just knocks the ball onto the off stump. And really, Philip de Freitas does deserve that. He could have had 3 or 4 wickets in the afternoon session, and then he gets one with a little bit of luck like that. So there is some justice in the game after all.
Justice indeed. He's bowling to John Bracewell.
That'll be at least 2. Fairbrother chasing. Still the outfield very slow. Oh, that's out. Lovely ball. Nicely caught. And Martin Snedden out for a duck. Took him 3 days. But he did a job. In fact, they only batted for 37 minutes. And New Zealand now 191 for 7. Just looking at this delivery, a beautiful delivery. It squared Snedden up, and a classical dismissal of a left-hander with Graham Gooch. Look at that for concentration. That's how to complete this catch. There we are. That's the reason for the reception. In fact, more of an ovation. Richard Hadlee. Well, there's why Richard Hadlee is the world's leading all-rounder. Dangerous batsman. Most of those runs have been scored in attacking vein. Can pull any attack apart. Oh, bowled him. Well, the leave-alone shot of sorts, which ended with the ball certainly not leaving the middle stump alone.
Watch this ball, that's pitched. Richard Hadlee tries to get his bat out of the way, tries to let it go outside the off stump. Not quite quick enough. It gets a bottom corner and it hurtles into the middle stump.
Oh, and there's one the other way, and huge shout, and really does look now as though De Freitas has finally worked out what he's doing, how to do it. And this is a beautiful spell of bowling. Beat him one way and then the other. Terrific in-swinger. End of the over, and New Zealand now in trouble at 191 for 8. And well stopped again by Smith in the gully. London fielding razor sharp this morning.
Yes, although this ball's pitched short, almost on top of the bounce off the front foot, and a fine piece of fielding by Robin Smith.
Oh, there goes Bracewell with this amazing pull shot to be able to pull in front of square. That shot isn't in too many batsmen's lockers, but for a lower order batsman to have it, it really is. Shows how dangerous he is.
Tremendous shot off the front foot. He's picked the length, got across there, and he hit that like a rocket.
Smith off the mark. And we see an adjustment in the field now. Stewart going from short leg out onto the offside. Third man going back. That'll be 4 runs, we think, and it is.
Brendan Smith is the non-striker, and he's taken the single to give the strike to Danny Morrison. Oh, well bowled. No doubt about that, and it's 5 for De Freitas. Justice for him. An excellent spell of bowling from Philip De Freitas. 5 for 53. Very, very good performance, and Gooch and Lamb and the rest of the players quite delighted to see Philip De Freitas come good in this fashion.
Well, this one going back into the right-hand batsman. Very full length, right up there. round about off the middle, and I think umpire Dickie Burt can do much else but give that one out, and it just shows the advantage of being able to swing the ball both ways. De Freitas has always been able to make it go in this last 2 years, but he hasn't been able to make it leave the right-hander. He's done that in this match, and he's got his just rewards for doing it.
Strike, and the bowler is Richard Hadley. Oh, yes. Looked plumb from here, absolutely dead straight. And what a start. What a sensational morning's cricket. England crashed through New Zealand, and now Hadley has crashed through Gooch.
A disappointment for England because Gooch has been in tremendous form this summer. And that was the line a little bit that Terry Alderman bowled at Gooch when he caused him all those problems in the tests when they played against Australia. Very straight line on about leg and middle, and it didn't go down the leg side, it just held the line it was on, and umpire John Hampshire had no option but to give that one out. More or less a straight ball, and I think that was probably one of Gooch's problems against Alderman, that he just fell over a little bit, maybe expecting that to continue on down the leg side, but it just held the line it set off on leg and middle.
416 of the best. Strike rate of 1 every 50 balls. Stewart's off the mark. Best bowling against Australia in Brisbane, 9 for 52. It was their magnificent performance, it was too. Now Mike Atherton. And he's easily off the mark. Pick up 3 there, with 2 young fellas racing between the wickets.
Well, Mike Atherton's one of those correct type of young players. He's an orthodox player. He plays pretty straight, and I say he took that away nicely. Again, there was that initial movement just getting a little bit too far across. He had to readjust. And that's the line that hardly gets people in problem with, round about leg and middle, if it does anything. Because they play many more test matches now than in the days of Fred Truman, so it is a little bit easier for them to get to that 400 mark than it used to be. You had to play a long time to have any chance to get up to 400, but it's still a tremendous performance by Richard Hadley. He's done it in 84 test matches against Truman 67. And that's the figure, but it is the fact that you play them in a much quicker time now.
Rain is just a little heavier now. It's going to be Danny Morrison from the pavilion end. 3 slips in a gully for him. John Wright, the skipper, has gone to gully.
Umpire Dickie Burt having a little bit of trouble with this rain now. He's started wearing glasses there, you can see, and I think he's probably looking for his hat or something. Yeah, just keep those spots of rain off the glasses. Can't afford to get a few blurs in front of the eyes, Dickie. That's better.
Richard Hadley. Alex Stewart has taken strike. They're going to see what the batsmen think. The rain has become heavier. The umbrellas are up all around the ground. The raincoats are on. It's one of the very awkward things You can play football in the rain, you can play golf in the rain. We quite often do. Play hockey and lacrosse and anything else you like. But it is very, very difficult to play cricket. And that's the way it was at 3 minutes past 12 when steady rain forced the umpires to take the players' examination today. Richard Hadlee, the leading wicket taker in the world, will be sure to put them through the hoops out there, and there is just enough in the pitch to provide problems for the batsmen. Here's the second ball of the morning. Richard Hadlee is bowling it. There's no addition to the score. Alex Stewart is the man taking strike. First runs for the morning. Stewart takes 2, and a very good morning to Geoffrey Boycott.
Yes, good morning, everybody. I think Richard Hadlee will test these young men out. And I think what they want to be saying is, after seeing their captain, Graham Gooch, get out, not really getting forward, not moving his feet, they ought to have been thinking about that over the weekend and saying, whatever I do, get that left foot moving, get it out there forward, as near as I can to the pitch of the ball. Otherwise, they're going to be in big trouble.
Man has come back in on the offside now for Atherton.
Well, that's good cricket, that, from Michael Atherton. Being pressurised, put under pressure by the bowler, bringing the man up at silly mid-off. And what he did was play the ball as it should be played. Forward defensive. Don't worry about the man that's right in his line of sight. Forget about the man. Play the ball on its merits. That's the secret of good batting. The balls just trickle to the fielder.
The first one Morrison has pitched up. Stewart has been able to play everything before that off the back foot. It's the first one that was up and induced the false stroke. Still went for 4. Interesting contrast with these two young players. John Wright will have been studying what they've been doing out there. He's changed his field and he has Bracewell in at a short cover position now. That's something for Alex Stewart to think about. Once again, that was brilliantly timed. It's just a defensive stroke, and it went to within about 10-15 paces of the boundary rope. 3 to Stewart.
Oh, got some bounce there and got a wicket. That was Climb, really, that got that wicket for him. Out goes Stewart, caught by Smith, and Hadlee strikes again, and England now 43 for 2.
Well, there's no doubt that that wasn't movement that did that. It was just Hadlee put a bit of extra pace into it, banged it in a bit short. Stewart went for the square cut, and it was a good piece of bowling. He deceived him by pace, and really on this slow wicket, he made that climb pretty steeply.
Replacing Danny Morrison at the pavilion end.
New bowler now for Danny Morrison and Martin Snedden. He's the stock bowler of the side. Couple there for Anderson.
Snedden just erring a little bit on the leg side there. He's seen the odd delivery swing from off stumpish or just outside off stump. They tend to get too optimistic, thinking get the ball to go from leg and middle, and it's got to be a pretty good swinging day before you can make it go from there. So they've got to persevere with keeping round about that off stump.
Now, and as we thought, Hadlee to stay on. Alan Lamb to face his first ball of the innings. And a useful delivery first time.
What he made about it, though, it's line and length round about off stump, and really, that's not a great defensive shot. Alan Lamb finished up going right across there. Really, keep control with his left hand long enough when he's playing defensive, and that's a terrible position to finish, to play a defensive shot.
Oh, that's close, and he's out. Alan Lamb took a long, hard look, so did umpire Hampshire. And really, Hadley's caused his problems, even with only 3 deliveries to Alan Lamb, caused him great problems with 2 out of the 3, got his reward, the 3rd wicket for Hadley, and Lamb goes for naught, and England now 45 for 3.
I would say Alan Lamb's such a bad starter defensively against anybody who can bowl medium fast, roundabout off stump, just outside. And all 3 deliveries caused problems there for Alan Lamb. Just outside off stump, nip him back, hit him on the knee, the right knee, no doubt at all about that. Middle stump 3/4 of the way up.
So Richard Hadley coming into Robin Smith. Attacking field, 3 slips, silly mid-off and bat pad. And Smith off the mark straight. Good positive shot.
Richard Hadley, certainly a man in control of his own performance. He bowls within himself. He still lets the odd quick one go. He drops the odd one short just to let people know that he can still do it, and he likes to see them on the back foot. Oh, that's beautifully bowled. Snedden to Atherton. The applause around the ground is for the 50 runs coming up, for loss of 3 wickets. That's typical Atherton. Just a little nudge on the onside, looking for the 1, looking for 2. Well, there you see how greasy the square still is. We've had a tremendous amount of rain over 3 days here, and still not firm underfoot. That's a good flick of the wrists, and but just 1. Andrew Jones is the fielder at mid-on. He ran very quickly, turned quickly, good throw too. That's a good shot. Picked it up very quickly, and 1 bounce over the boundary line, and 4 runs to Robin Smith.
Richard Hadley deciding to test him out. Robin Smith hit that beautifully. Head down, looking at the ball.
End of the over. 10 to Smith, 21 to Atherton. It's 61 for 3.
One of Smith's strengths, the fine shot.
And Smith got in a lovely position on that back foot and really cracked that away.
4th boundary of the innings takes England to 66 for 3. Oh, it's a great shot. No ball, but Smith was playing that anyway. It's the 5th 4 of the innings, 3 of them to Robin Smith. Oh, it's a fine shot again. Placement was good, not all the power there.
Probably have made 4 on a quicker outfield, but After all the rain we've had in the last 2 or 3 days, pretty slow here at Trent Bridge.
Mike Atherton. And there's a no ball, and there is a strayed delivery down leg side. Priest, that'll be 3.
That's a good place for Richard Hadley to be standing, really, mid-off there. I suppose they're talking about what they're going to do tonight, but it would be handy if Danny Morrison said, what have you noticed about this young man? How can we get through Atherton's defence? That's a good shot. He's really let the bat go through that for the first time today on the offside. His style has been cautious, but this time, once he knew he was in place with front foot, really let the bat go through.
Yes, that will do him a little bit of good. He played it one that was a bit too wide going away the previous over. That, in fact, was a little bit wide. If there'd been any outswing there, he may well have missed again, but he got right over it this time and timed it beautifully, away square on the offside.
91 for 3 then, the England response at the Trent Bridge. And that's a lovely shot. That's twice in a long grafting innings by Mike Atherton that he's let the bat flow through, and that's 4 runs square on the offside.
It's a lovely shot, this. Look at that foot, right across by the line of the ball. Martin Snedden, after a very tight spell from the pavilion end, switched to the Ratcliffe Road end. 12 overs for just 9 runs in his opening spell.
They go for the second, and that brings the 100 up. 35 for Smith, 37 to Atherton. The 100 comes up of 247 balls. So England really repairing some early damage caused by Richard Hadley. Little cameo performance. He got his long spikes on. And he's left-handed, so it was all in his favour for a long time, Mark Priest. Suddenly the whole weekend caught up with him. Cracking shot. A rare bad ball from Snedden, which gave Atherton room outside off stump. A very healthy crack.
Lovely shot, this. Long hop outside the off stump. Bang. And that's the first runs, in fact, that have been scored off Snedden on the offside in 14 overs.
Back-breaking toil has gone into that, and a lot of brain power as well. Occasionally, the batsman will get him away like that. A classic stroke from Robin Smith.
And probably Robin Smith's best shot. Short of length, he does play that shot well, with his bat almost upright. Tremendous follow through, and very, very powerful.
No third man, which is the passion. And that also is a pretty good delivery. But the little wing signifies 4 plus a victory.
Yes, and I agree with Richie Benno. Sort of slips off the face. Very good cricket there. The batsman doing his best to hold the bat up straight, but it slips off the face.
Smith came in at a difficult time. He saw out the end of Hadley's spell. That'll be it. The 6th 4, and it takes Smith to what's been a pretty solid 50 full of good strokes when the ball's been there to hit. Little clap from Atherton. There's his 50. First one in Test cricket, and it's come the hard way because he's had to drop anchor with wickets going at the other end. Been there longer than Robin Smith. Different sort of player, but just as valuable an innings. Well, bring your own entertainment for some people. Oh, dropped him. Well, it was Trevor Franklin at third slip. Atherton can count himself fortunate.
Well, this was very much a straightforward. He pushed forward, not too hard. It was on the front foot, so he'd have a long time to see it, and really almost knee-high straight in it. So that really was a cuckoo as slip catchers go.
Oh, it's well bowled. Whether there was an edge as well as getting Smith down the wicket.
I think there probably was just a little edge. Yes, there was a definite edge there. It wasn't an easy catch by any means, but you saw again how much the ball did spin.
We've had bad light, and now we've got a threatening smoke screen. That happens to be in an area where a lot of television vans and equipment are, so if screens go blank, you'll have had an early warning. And now Bracewell is going round the wicket. Now, if he does that, one assumes he won't be pitching as far outside off stump, and therefore will there be a field change, perhaps taking one of those two bat pad men away on the offside? Not yet, anyway. That's where the ball's going to go. Would you keep the two men there on the offside now?
No, I wouldn't, Jack. I'd have one behind on the leg side now. And I see he's going to do that, in fact, now, and he's also going between the umpire, as we suggested. I think that's a far better field now. And he's got to pitch the ball now round about that off stump. And certainly then Atherton would have to play at every delivery.
And now he's gone over the wicket. As Ray said, a lot of overseas off-spinners don't like going round the wicket, but even so, with what he's already turned in this over, remarkably short-lived experiment. That one, well, he's proved his own points, inviting the drive, and Atherton really in no sort of position to do what he wanted. That's what should be the last over before tea. Pugnacious cricketer. Loves to bowl, loves to bat. Saw him at Worcester, and he was in the game there throughout. Good stop.
Priest giving that a little bit more air, and Robin Smith really let him fly. Fine stop there in the covers.
And Smith has gone. He's just kept on going. It looked like a bottom edge to me. That was a good catch, if it was bottom edge, by Ian Smith, the wicketkeeper. Harold Bird didn't need to make a decision, but eventually did. Smith was on his way. And that is the fourth wicket down. 141 on the board. Smith goes straight after tea, and reward for Bracewell.
You can see he's trying to get away. He's trying to make a bit of room for himself, falling away off the ball. And really a very, very good catch by Ian Smith behind the stumps.
won't go for 4, but it'll be a great relief for Neil Fairbrother. Sliding away off the outside edge between third slip and gully. Good quick single taken by Atherton, and then good response from Fairbrother. Now has to face Hadley. Just out of Smith's reach. Chalk up another 4 runs to Neil Harvey Fairbrother.
Yes, and that much quicker delivery. Just got the bottom edge of the bat and went very close to Smith behind the stumps.
And Bracewell it is, who is now to bowl to Atherton from the pavilion end. But that's the shot that Mr. Boycott was recommending.
Well, it is. It's a good shot, is that? Used his feet just a little bit. Just set off, just made himself a yard down the pitch. He didn't have to hit it too hard, just sort of punch it through mid-wicket.
A change in the bowling. Snedden replacing Richard Hadley.
I mean, if you watch Martin Snedden, he really is very gentle, nagging pace. It's only this sort of pitch which is slow and nothing in it that stops the batsman from getting after him, really. I think on a good batting pitch, you'll be looking for to whack Martin Snedden around a bit.
Caught him. So Snedden, we must give him the compliment of keeping that line just outside off stump, and eventually Neil Fairbrother went for that rather lavish shot, aimed square through the covers, and Trevor Franklin, happy for him after 1 drop, cops it.
Well, not a very good shot from Neil Fairbrother. That's look on his face. He'll know that frustration there, a little bit sloppy. No need to play that shot. Nothing in it for him. It's really getting outshot, as we say in cricket. You get out on that shot 7, 8 times out of 10, playing at a wide-ish ball that's tempting, but not really there for hitting. And as a batsman, when you go in getting out like that, you think, well, I gave my wicket away. It was my own fault.
Much improved batsman, Jack Russell. 12 test matches, averaging 36, a very healthy average for the specialist keeper.
John Bracewell now to continue. He'll be born to Jack Russell.
Oh, big appeal. My word. Was in trouble. That did turn.
New ball due. Is that a sign?
Almost took short leg with it.
And John Bracewell just erring on the short side once or twice in this last couple of overs, and giving Michael Atherton a few easy runs down to square leg.
And there, if you do stray leg side and you've only this sort of field placing, then there are holes there, and Atherton picked one off the previous over.
Richard Hadley is measuring out his run. The umpires are measuring their reaction to that. Will this be construed as putting the batsman in the position of being in serious physical danger? That's even before Hadley's bowled a ball. It's almost been mandatory for rain or bad light to stop play here at Trent Bridge in this opening Cornhill, and he's bowling to Jack Russell.
Straight away on target. Well, Dickie was just wondering, shall I or shan't I? And he didn't. It's a maiden. Dickie's face was peering down his own corridor of uncertainty there, Raymond.
Well, I don't think he'd have had much hesitation in a one-day contest. I think it was probably wide in a 5-day contest as well, but back's bothered him a bit this morning. Damp beds again.
Oh, God dear me, if you get down to calling wides and thinking about them, then... Oh, that's well bowled. Squared Atherton up. That's the first runs of the day, and lucky ones.
Well, this was pretty well bowled. I think Michael Atherton got forward quite sufficiently, and certainly the position of the bat coming through towards mid-wicket wasn't very good either. That was the main reason that he got the edge. If he could have kept the bat a little bit on straighter line, better chance of finding the middle.
That's well spotted. Jack Russell's first run of the morning. Every one of those figures is impressive, but none more so than the strike rate, a wicket every 51 deliveries or just under, and there's only a couple of bowlers in history who've bettered that without any sort of number of wickets. Fred Truman's one, Malcolm Marshall's another. Just look at that, 5 wickets in an innings 35 times and half the wickets in a game on 9 occasions. Once the man turned 30, he seemed to get better and better. That's 4 runs. Plenty of time for Atherton to watch that ball and steer it round, and that brings up the 200. Hadley went wider there, and Atherton picked it out well. Well, Russell hardly appeared to hit that at all. It was beautifully timed.
He plays amazing on the leg side. He seems to get so far around that he nearly drives the ball in the direction where it goes. And it really sped away to the square leg boundary there. See, that's just boom, away it goes. Beautifully timed. There's no backlift, no more than 6 inches. Not a big man, but it just shows that you don't have to be 6'4" to hit the ball hard.
That's that shot again. Really is an astonishing individualistic sort of shot, because he waits for the ball to come onto his hips and then just flicks it away onside.
Yes, it's perfect timing. No real backlift, just gets it onto the bat and then kind of pushes it away to square leg. And it really does speed away there.
That's well played. It got up nastily, that. Just a single to Atherton. So he moves on to 97, and total goes on to 220 for 5. And there'll be a change in the bowling now from the pavilion end. And so a new challenge to these batsmen, especially the left-handed Jack Russell, but Bracewell opts to go over the wicket. 3 fielders close up on the offside. A nudge, 1 run.
Richard Hadley being relieved from the Ratcliffe Road end. Martin Snedden going to take his place.
Another worker from Jack Russell. 227 for 5. Thought he's half volley, just close the face of the bat, and very often you can defend your way into poor nick.
Yes.
Then you need patience, Tom.
Yes, just snatching at that a little bit. I think he knew he should have hit it straight. And perhaps feeling a little bit nervous, a little bit keyed up. It's an important occasion for this young man.
That's Morrison at cover. Philip de Freitas turned out to watch his teammate make this progress towards a maiden century, he hopes. And that's it. Lovely shot. Cracking square cut by Atherton. Michael Atherton gets his maiden Test century. And the patience pays off, and the England team come out to applaud him.
He played that very well. Didn't get in a panic over things, just let the ball come on to him. And that really was a cracking square cut that brought him his century. It's been a fine innings by him. Tremendous concentration, application. Has hardly played a faulty stroke.
They're the 2 players who've carried England through to 231 for 5 this morning. Atherton with his first Test century. Russell, very competent display for 22. A long chase. Easy 3 there for Atherton. He's played equally well off back and front foot. Quickly into position.
He has lovely feet movement. Always has had from the first time I ever saw him play. He's balanced forward, rocks back, nicely balanced, doesn't try and hit it too hard. He keeps the bat going through the line of the ball. Well, he's definitely a good appealer, is John Bracewell. He really thinks that might be given out by Dickie Bird. He doesn't know Dickie Bird very well. Pitched outside leg stump.
Well, I think I'd be looking like that too. It's been quite a bit of fumbling out there today by Ian Smith. Little outside edge. And a chance. So Bracewell is unfortunate there. 242 for 5.
First ball after lunch. Morrison now to Mike Atherton. Priest starting his third over of the game, and I'm sure that Wright will give him an extended run. Lovely shot, open the face, chase, and successful. So 3 runs to Atherton.
Yes, Atherton doesn't try to lash the ball. He gets right to it and then times it, and lovely follow through. And so there's no way of catching that in a quick outfield, but John Wright just managing to make it in the last foot.
That wasn't a good shot, and that could have been out. Only contact there, could have been a top edge.
Yes, well, the few times that I've seen Michael Atherton play the hook shot,
There's a fine shot. Just pick that one off. That's the hallmark of a class player, when he can be batting as long as he has in a defensive mood, and suddenly the loose one comes along and bang.
well, this was probably the best shot he's played in his innings, because he's played that shot on 2 or 3 occasions, but never as powerful as that. He really did time that to perfection. Gave it everything.
Beautifully timed, and really some of Russell's leg side placements today have been a delight to watch. Some lunches later than others. That's out. And the end of a partnership which has added 92. They've been together 41 overs. Splendid effort it's been. Russell's played his part as usual, but getting a leading edge gives Morris a wicket. Russell goes for 28 and England 260 for 6. Well, Philip de Freitas, and he's already had a good test match. Well, there's holes in the field if you can find them.
The more we see of this young man, the more impressed we become. Tremendous performance. It's a good delivery because it was right over the top of the middle stump. He does the right thing and gets inside it and just helps it on. Coming in for a fair amount of stick at the moment. Now we've got a change in the attack. Morrison being replaced by Snedden. Snedden, who's bowled 33 overs for just 36 runs. And taken the wicket of Fairbrother.
His technique is good. Most good players. He's very strong off his pads.
At the top of the list there, Atherton has just carried on quietly.
Got 150 in his sights now, and depending on whether or not there's a closure, have even more than that. .285 for 6. That's 4. It's a good shot. All the exercises Richard has to go through these days. All sorts of combinations John Wright could use out there. He could bring Richard Hadley on Mark Priest's end and switch Priest to the pavilion end. I tell you, that's not the place to bowl to this young batsman.
Good all-round player, but particularly strong off his legs there. Flipping that away. Just wide of mid-wicket. A little bit in the air, but no danger at all. He timed it very well. And 4 runs.
May not necessarily be the best shot of the match, but he's not that far off it.
Beautiful shot, this. Little bit of swing away and beautifully balanced there. Hitting that on top of the bounce. It's not really a half volley. Just a little bit of width there. And a really fine stroke. 149 he is now.
.150 up for Mike Atherton. Last 50 have come in really good fashion. 300 up for England, 301 for 6. Now, those statistics for Michael Atherton, he's 151 not out, faced 380 balls, but his last 50 runs have come in only 69 balls. Safely held out at mid-off. Atherton has gone. 151. A fine innings. Only a small crowd here at Trent Bridge on the final day of this Cornhill Test. But he will receive the best possible acclamation as he comes back. Very good knock. First time he's ever opened for England, and he's made 151.
Yes, Richie, a terrific innings by Mark Atherton. Tremendous stuff. He couldn't have played better. Under a great deal of pressure with England at 45 for 3 at one stage. He's buckled down, and there are all the New Zealand players supporting him, and it really was a tremendous innings. And this is how he went, tossed up and hitting through the line straight to mid-off. Not quite a half volley, didn't quite get underneath it enough. Straight to Martin Snell.
302 for 7 now as Gladstone Small comes out to join Philip de Freitas. 14 not out to de Freitas. 8 extras in that total of 302 for 7.
Oh, that's well clipped away there by Gladstone Small. Just leaned on that, flick, and the ball hurries away to mid-wicket. But that'll be an over that Mark Priest remembers. It's 306 for 7.
Yes, well, I can't see Philip de Freitas poking around too long with the spinner bowling. Have a look at him first.
Well, it looked to me as if he was poking about there, Jeff.
Well, I was just saying he was going to have a look at him first, but it's too late. He's had one look too many. Just played back, did Philip de Freitas, just sort of trying to work it a little bit to the onside. Just turn angles in a little bit, hits him on the knee row. He's even playing across the line. You can only see the edge of the bat. I mean, there's no way an umpire couldn't give him out for that.
Here's Eddie Hemmings. he's blossomed into an off-spinner who bats less. But of course he's got 95 in a test match. That was against Australia. That's better, Gladstone. Prefers it with the spin.
That's it, Gladstone Small. Get the bat on the ball. Give him some welly. Enjoy yourself. Down the wicket. That's the way. No man out in the outfield. Sure, he'll get out sooner or later, but I think this is it. Enjoy yourself.
Yes, straight this time. Picked his place. I mean, it really looked good, didn't it, Jeff?
That's it, Gladstone. Whack him again. That's the way. We'll see a big smile. Yes, there's a little smile on Gladstone's face. He's enjoyed that. Down the pitch. Good, clean hit.
But the trouble with bowlers, you see, when they succeed with a couple of shots like that, they then think they can really bat, and they then start to open the face and ease it for two on the offside.
I also remember asking John Edrich about Pat Pocock's batting, who was an off-spinner for Surrey. He said he wants it a 6, and he's been trying to do the same ever since.
321 for 8. That's a good shot. Certain 3, they might even try to run 4. No, they'll settle for the 3.
Beautiful shot, that. Foot down the wicket to the pitch of the ball. He'll be telling his captain, Graham Gooch, tonight that he played a cover drive better than he did, seeing as Graham Gooch got naught.
14 off the over, 324 for 8. And that's how he did it. Now he's really picking them out. None of this prodding. Judged the length beautifully.
This is a cracking shot. Short of a length, he rocks back on that right foot, waits for the ball, that's the important thing, and times it absolutely splendidly. Rocking back there, crack, and he's hit that right in the meat of the bat with great timing.
Bracewell. Might be out. Oh, might be 4. Out. Beautifully caught and beautifully bowled, and as Railingworth said, when Hadley smells a 5-wicket haul, well, you just try and keep him at bay. And that was a nice little innings from Gladstone Small. He's a correct player and he plays straight and he's not afraid to go for his shots, but he's gone now for 26, Hadley's 4th wicket, and England 340 for 9. Now we shall see a slightly different approach from Devon Malcolm. Hasn't quite got the orthodoxy and correctness of any of the 10 batsmen ahead of him. Oh, well, there we are. Most delicate of cuts. Four good runs as far as Devon's concerned. Hadley thinks the ball went through the stumps. Ian Smith's got a smile on his face. Hadley hasn't.
Incredible how that could miss the stumps. Amazing, really. Lovely finish.
And with the umpires offering the batsman the light, the batsman accepting, that was the moment for Graham Gooch to declare the England innings closed at 345 for 9 to bowling from Gladstone Small. Small had been moving the ball into the left-hander. Then he got this one to run away. It was a beautifully pitched delivery, drew right into the stroke, and Jack Russell's safe hands were there behind the stumps to effect the dismissal. No fun for a batsman coming out in these circumstances where he knows that the game is probably going to finish at 5:30, and Andrew Jones was the second victim. He was batting against Philip de Freitas, but one that at first glance seemed to go away off the seam, but in fact on the replay looked as though it was pretty straight. Jones played it with an angled bat, And this was an excellent catch by Jack Russell, diving away to his right in front of first slip, and a good wicket again for Philip de Freitas. That's the way it finished shortly after 5:30, 36 for 2 with Wright and Jones, the two men dismissed. Trevor Franklin played well, played a couple of handsome strokes on the offside and one delightful leg glance, 22 not out. And Danny Morrison, elevation for him. Some people in the New Zealand team say he's a genuine 11. He got in earlier today. Malcolm, 7 overs, none for 22. Small 1 for 14, and de Freitas 1 for none from 2 overs, 2 maidens. He's had a pretty good match, Philip de Freitas, and Eddie Hemmings bowled 2 overs of off spin, 2 maidens, none for none. The